Hi and welcome to Kate's Space. I'm Kate from Pixie Designs, and today I've just got a short little sort of studio blog for you. I decided it was well over time for me to start just cleaning up the chaos that was in my space. I don't create well when things kind of get chaotic, and at the moment I'm finding it just really difficult to be productive. I'm not really sure why, but I felt like it was well overdue for a really good sort of tidy up. In saying that, I didn't go through every drawer and every cupboard. It was just really more of just cleaning the floors and dusting and putting things away and finding places for things. So the first part, I'm just cleaning up that initial part of my studio, and here I'm cleaning my desk up. This is after having Ella here to stay, and so I had a table up in the middle of my studio where she was doing some journaling and things, and it was just a real joy having her here. At the moment I'm working mostly in my Junk Journal July journal, and that's pretty much all I'm getting done at this stage. I have had quite a lot of trouble with pain in my knee, and as I was doing this cleaning up I was really sort of limping around, but because it's so fast you can't tell, which is great. I look like I'm super speedy. If only it did take this amount of time to get things sorted, right? So here I am. This is like the workbench in the middle of my studio. It's on wheels, so it can be wheeled to the side, and this is supposed to be where I do all my messy stuff, but what generally happens is I will turn around in my chair from my desk and place just stuff on here, and it becomes really a wasted workbench. So here I am just cleaning things up, going through these containers of like sort of finished and half finished things, cleaning up my ribbons and my sari silk and trying to put them all into containers that are all the same. And then I was like, oh, where am I going to put my seam binding? So you'll see I put it away in a drawer there behind in that unit. So yeah, and then I'm just working on that bookshelf. Then I don't know if any of you saw the video of my recent haul, and this is the hat that I found. And here I am just harvesting all the beautiful sort of millinery flowers. Now, yeah, they are in a bit of a state, some of them, but I think they'll steam up really beautifully. I really loved this hat, and the lady kind of looked at me when I went to buy it and said, oh, it's quite damaged and you'll have to repair it, and I didn't have the heart to tell her that I was going to take it apart. So yeah, I thought, well, that's a job I need to do. I don't want it lying around anymore. So yeah, here I am just putting all the flowers sort of into, taking all the flowers off the hat. How are you all? I hope you are all well and crafting. I've really enjoyed seeing the layouts of those of you who are involved in Junk Journal July. I've been doing lots of crafting with my sister via Facebook video, and she's doing beautiful layouts for Junk Journal July as well. Yeah, so super happy with this hat. And then I thought, okay, so now I've done this, where on earth am I going to put all these? So I had to have a little bit of a search around, and then of course I emptied a container onto my sewing table to put these in the container, and then I was like, okay, so what am I going to do with all those things? So that seems to be an ongoing thing. I move one thing to one place, and then have something else that needs to be tidied up. So I went through as well and cleaned up my sewing space and found places for those. So the other thing I found at that vintage fair were these couch covers, and you'll see there's a picture there of David helping me unpick them all, and that's me just finishing it off. And then I decided I better just set up a few library card packs and get them ready in case anyone orders any, so they're quicker to post off. So yeah, there's 60 in a pack, and I keep them in sort of little groups of 10 and lay them out flat on something so that they can go just letter rate, because that makes the postage way cheaper. And yeah, works out really reasonable. So yeah, that's just me working on my bench, which I've cleared, and just getting them all grouped up into groups of 10 and then laying them out on the paper and popping them into cellophane bags. So that's just a job that's done, and if anyone orders anything, they're sort of ready to go. So here they are laying out, and I've actually laid them out on a piece of that kind of quite heavy sort of pinkish braille paper. I thought that was quite a cool way. And then they're just wrapped in strips of wallpaper. These ones, they were wrapped in book page, but I ran out of that book, so there they are. And so they look quite sweet, and they come, yeah, just real flat. So this is my desk. It's as you can see, that I haven't got to this part of my studio to tidy up, and so this is obviously another day, and that's my writing journal. So I'm just catching up on a bit of journaling. So primarily this journal was made just for writing in. It has many pages in it, and I am coming to the end of it. I try and just stick to one page a day, and it's certainly not very exciting. I do a little bit of decorating, but really keep it very flat. And I guess it's just a record of my everyday things, although there is some other stuff in there. Then I just decide, right, this is time to get this desk under control and this area of my studio, so I get cracking and just do some cleaning up around here. So yeah, I'm getting everything together. There's Junk Journal July things there, and get the vacuum cleaner out and the wet wipes and give everything a good old wipe. Isn't it amazing how much dust accumulates in our spaces? I think it's just all the paper and the old stuff, and yeah, just the bits and pieces of everything. So yep, it was good to get this done, and I do love a clear desk. I'm hoping that my creativity will be renewed with my clear space, and that maybe I'll get more done. So here's just a walkthrough after the fact. And so this bookshelf, as you come in the front door, is all my sort of beautiful old books, most of which are for the covers that I want to make journals out of, and there's my old scrapbooking albums. So as you come in the door, there's that sort of little pile of suitcases. There's my beautiful piece with the drawers, my chair that I had reupholstered, and as you can see, the sun's streaming in here. In this unit is just mainly paper, so the braille paper and my ledgers up there, tickets, just various papers that go into journals. Oop, that's not really done up there. And then you step down into this area of the concrete floor. That's my mum's old sewing box that I've had for many years. So all my laces on cards on that trolley and underneath. My writing desk, a nest I found and some peony petals from the summer. There's my light box for taking photos of things when the light is really poor. And obviously there's my desk, and there's the workbench, all nice and clear. My printer and my typewriter is on that unit, and there's sort of papers that I print on. That's obviously where the old sink used to be before the floods. And that's my sewing table, and of course there's always the containers and things that you have to hide underneath. There's not ever space for everything. My wall of my photos of my family and my kids, and this bookshelf here is mostly books that I use pages out of primarily. Yeah, and so my flower presses, and then a little round box of hankies. There's all my flowers. And in this, there's papers here, envelopes, my sewing patterns, jewellery making stuff. And yeah, there's my desk and the workbench. So if you walk around, there's a trolley with glues and sort of things there. My scrap paper at the bottom, that's now in one container. And these drawers are on my desk. I'm not sure if that's a good idea or not. Things always end up in front of them. So yeah, there's what's underneath the workbench, just containers of papers and unfinished projects and things like that. And there's the view from this end of the studio. My dirty windows, which were cleaned, but it's just the weather's been so bad that they get real dirty real quick living by the sea. There's my pin board, which could probably do with some more things on, and that's probably maybe something I could work on, is getting this sort of with more inspirational stuff on it that, you know, gets me cracking. I hope that I'll become more productive in the next wee while. So yep, that's where I sit on the daily basis, and that's me. I've started riding my bike. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you're well, and I'll see you again soon in the next video. Bye.